This is the DJ Henderson podcast. Today's guest is a Tampa native who had an incredible high school basketball career at Hillsborough High School, where he was a key piece in putting Hillsborough in the conversation of top basketball programs in the city. He has since continued his academic and athletic career at Florida A&M University. Bryce Moragne, welcome to the show, bro.
What's good, Brody?
Not much. Tell everybody who you are. Tell everybody who is Bryce.
My name is Bryce Moragne. I attend Florida A&M University. It's my fourth year, about to be my senior year. I attended Hillsborough High School, played guard for pretty much 1 through 4. But yeah, that's me. I'm a hustler. I'm just gonna get after it. That's me.
Yeah, for sure. We met. The first time I met you was a long time ago. I would say I was probably about 13, 14 maybe. We was at Tampa Bay Knights practice. I remember I was with Coach Hyatt. You were a little bit older than me, so I remember we was all working out together. But you was coming into your own for sure then, probably getting ready to go to high school. You was good then, good now. So definitely had my eyes, definitely somebody I've been looking at, somebody coming up in the city for sure.
Appreciate you.
How did you start playing basketball originally?
I started playing. My granddad, he actually played. He was big on basketball. He actually played at Savannah State, so he kind of introduced the game to me a little bit. And I actually started playing the YMCA league over in why am I tripping? I forgot the name. Playing not Skill Center, Central City YMCA. Started playing at Central City, and then it was actually an AAU team that they try to base out of Central City called the Tampa Bay Inferno. So the Knights before we were the Knights, we were the Tampa Bay Inferno. So that was actually the first. Oh, I'm tripping. Let me take that back. I first started playing with the Warriors, Tampa Bay Warriors, and I don't even know how I got on that team, but that was a team. A couple people I remember, it was me, Dex played on that team. My boy Messiah. Matter of fact, Kevin was on that team. Kevin Knox was on that team. We had some. Who?
Twan
was on that team. Yeah, we had. Oh yeah, how can I forget Twan? Twan was on that team. So we had some killers on the team. But that's actually the first AAU team I played for. Then I started playing back with the YMCA. Then I ended up playing for the Inferno, then the Knights, and then the rest is history.
Who did you grow up watching when you first started playing basketball?
Pretty much LeBron. I was a big D-Wade fan. It was really the main two. Honestly, just Bron and D-Wade.
I think everybody, when I first started watching basketball, Bron was almost the only person I wanted to watch because he was just amazing.
Exactly.
Still is. When did you know basketball was what you wanted to do when you was going to take it serious?
I'm not going to lie. I really didn't start taking basketball serious probably until my 10th grade year. Prior to that, I like playing the game, but it didn't dawn on me that I could actually be good at it until around 9th to 10th grade. The end of my 9th grade year going into my 10th grade year. Because that's kind of when I hit my growth spurt. So I was kind of all right, I'm bigger than something. I'm taller than average, so I'm kind of a good height to play basketball. So that's when I started taking it serious. But I always loved the game all throughout my life.
I remember you wasn't always that tall, but then you kind of did hit a growth spurt. Yeah. Would you consider yourself a late bloomer, just coming into your own with the game?
Definitely. I feel like if I would have known some of the things, and if I would have grown height-wise and mentally I would have, if I did that a couple years back, before I did, I would definitely been way further along in my game. I could honestly say I probably would have been at probably a better school, a bigger school. So, but yeah, I definitely would consider myself a late bloomer.
When you got to Hillsborough, what was it like just getting to campus, just first starting off high school?
I don't know. It was a new experience. I was actually in the IB program. I was in the IB program for 2 years. Then I was kicking my butt, so I had to get out of that. But it was straight. You know what I'm saying? I met my best friends for life. I met at Hillsborough: Dex, Zach, Ken, Antonio, Miles, all them boys, Jeremiah. Met all of them at Hillsborough. But I like Hillsborough. I like to consider that the best high school in Tampa. Some people like to argue, but you know what I'm saying? I know exactly. I know people going to try to argue that, but I feel like that was one of the best high schools in Tampa. Teachers, my coaches were straight, students were straight, everybody. It was good. Good vibe.
That's how you're supposed to feel, though.
Yeah.
You got to feel like that.
Exactly.
touch on the IB program, because I remember like I got good grades. I know you had good grades in high school if you was doing that. And coming into high school, like from my middle school, that's a lot. Like a lot of my friends was all talking about, oh, going to King IB or going to Hillsborough IB or schools that had the IB program. What is the IB program for people that don't know, and how serious is it?
Basically, it's the International Baccalaureate Program. So that's what it stands for. It's basically just like a more prestigious, it's high school, but at a more prestigious level. It's kind of preparing you for college a little bit earlier because like traditional high school, you don't start taking AP classes or classes that prepare you to college until like your 11th or 12th grade year. But literally, as soon as I came in ninth grade, we were already taking like AP US history, AP World, like pretty much everything was preparing you for college. But I was always smart. Like growing up, I literally got straight A's all the way up until until middle school. But once I got in high school, like I ain't gonna lie, I kind of let the social life. I kind of, lean little bit more towards my social life than I did my academics. So my grades started to slip, and I realized that I'd be like, I'm not gonna say I wasn't gonna be able to do it, but I don't know, I ain't want all that workload at that time, so I kind of end up not doing it, not wanting to go through with it.
How you realized that wasn't something that you really wanted to do the whole time? That's what I was thinking when before I even got to high school. I was like, I know I could do it, but do I really want to put the time in and take school that seriously, or would I rather just get good grades and just do what I want to do, basically?
Because my thing was, I was like, there's people that are graduating from the IB program. Like my dream school was always Florida. Like that's always been my dream school growing up. So I saw people that weren't in the IB program that were like getting accepted into like Florida, FSU, USF, like all these big schools. And I was just like, what's the point of me doing all this when I could still get accepted? You know what I'm saying? So that was my thing, but it was kicking my butt. And so I thugged it out for about 2 years. And a lot of people don't know, I don't know if you even know this, I transferred to King for a year.
No, I didn't know that.
Exactly. See, a lot of people didn't know that's because Hillsborough actually isn't my zone school. So Lato is my zone school, but I wasn't going to Lato. So I actually ended up having to do like a hardship. So after I left Hillsborough because I wasn't my zone. So they made me go to King. I stayed at King for a whole semester. Like nobody knew I kept it on the D-Lo. Didn't play basketball, didn't do nothing. So that was the end of my sophomore year. So I actually stayed at King for half a semester. Then I was able to transfer back to Hillsborough. But yeah.
Okay. Last thing about that, tell people watching, how important is it to stay on top of your grades in high school, college, in general? Just how important are your grades and building that foundation up?
Oh, grades are very important. I can personally say from the high school level, especially if you're trying to get into a decent college nowadays, your GPA got to be like, you want to get into a good college, GPA got to be at least a 3.4 or higher, 3.4, 3.5 or higher. So important to have good grades to get into a good school. From a basketball standpoint, coaches aren't going to look at you unless you have decent grades. Like I can honestly say, like being in the IB program, it kind of set me back a little bit too, because when I first came in, like I said, I was making straight A's all the way up until like 8th grade. Then once I came into high school, I kind of let my social life interfere with my academics. So that's what caused my GPA to drop. So a lot of coaches weren't even, like I felt like I was pretty talented in my 10th, 11th grade year to get looked at. But a lot of coaches didn't take the time to look at me because of what my GPA was. It wasn't like a real low GPA, but it wasn't as high as it should have been. You feel me? So that's very important. Getting your GPA, getting your grades up. And then even in college, like I'm getting ready to graduate. So a lot of jobs out there, they're looking at, who has the highest GPA, looking at your resume. So grades basically going to take you all the way through the rest of your life. So it's important to get your grades straight.
What was it like playing for Coach Ward at Hillsborough and building a culture there?
It was a real good experience. I knew Coach Ward probably like 3-4 years before he got hired at Hillsborough, because I used to always go to little skill center training camps, just the different workouts and stuff with him on Sundays and Wednesdays, stuff like that. So when I found out he was going to be the coach, I was super excited. But when he got there, him being there, it helped us to like take the program to the next level. You know what I'm saying? He just brought in things that we didn't currently have in our program. So, but we established, like me and all my teammates, when he got there, we established like we definitely established a culture. I feel like before he got there, we really didn't have a culture, but definitely as soon as he got there, we established ourselves. Well, he wanted to make sure that he established Hillsborough as one of the best high school basketball teams in the city, which we did. You know what I'm saying? Like since I left, I can personally say my team made it to, we won districts 3 years, lost in the regional finals all my years, and then once I left, they made it all the way to states. I think this would have been their third year making the states. So we definitely established a culture.
I definitely want to ask you that. Like, how does it make you feel to see what you guys built there, like just upstanding and some like taking it farther, really just keeping what you guys built going?
It's a good feeling. Like that just shows that you left your print, like your legacy has been left at that school. Like before me and all my teammates got there, Hillsborough was not known for basketball at all. Like it was more so a football school. But once we got there, like we just changed whole culture. And then like seeing different players like come in and building on that and then making it further and further each year, that just make you feel good because it's like you started that. You feel me? Like if it wasn't for you establishing that winning culture, they wouldn't be where they are today. And then it's many times like I go back, I forgot when it was. I think I went back to go see one of the regional final games. Coach Ward called. It was like me, Deck, Zach called us in. He was like, "These are the guys that made it happen. Like if it wasn't for these guys, a lot of the stuff that's happening right now wouldn't have been possible." So it was a good feeling.
You kind of touched on it earlier, but what was it like playing with all your guys, Zach, Dex, Ken? Like, what was it like being on the court with them?
Oh, I loved it. Like sometimes I still go back and watch high school film just to like look at all the good plays, good memories we had. But I love playing with them boys. Me and Dex, we actually played on the same AU team for like a year, playing the flight together. So me and him, we had a pretty close bond on the court and off the court. That's still my best friend. He's up here at FAM now, so that's my best friend. But yeah, I love playing with all them boys. Like I wouldn't want to go to war with any other boys in high school. Like my dogs for sure.
Sure. Shout out to Flight, man. You know, I was one of the original Flight members way back. Everybody, shout out. So after Hillsborough, you ended up making it to FAMU. What was it like stepping on campus and first just realizing that you were by yourself and you was in college officially?
It was just a whole different experience. Like all my life, I just been like had my parents as support. I mean, they were with me talking to me like while I was up here, but just like being here by myself, having my own apartment, well, my own dorm, it was just a different experience because I ain't never had it. So it was kind of just like I was just free, like a little bit of freedom. So that was good. I wouldn't say I was too like worried or too concerned. I wasn't homesick or anything. Like I just thought about it as just like a new experience, a chance to grow as a person. That's about it.
What is the HBCU experience like? Like people talk about HBCUs now. Today, we hear so much about the importance of athletes going to HBCU. So what is it like being at a HBCU? You've been there for 4 years.
I'm gonna put it like this: if you had a chance to go to the HBCU, go to the HBCU. That's one of the best experience. Like you're gonna have the time of your life at HBCU. Just the culture that's established at HBCU is different from all other schools. Like you don't get that anywhere else. You don't get that at UF. You don't get that at FSU. FAMU, and I can pretty much speak for any HBCU. It's just different from all the other schools. But I would definitely recommend going to HBCU. I love my HBCU, and wouldn't want to be at any other school.
What's one of the main things that you can like put a finger on that makes the HBCU experience more unique than a regular university?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's just like a sense of belonging. Like being here, I just feel like I belong, and like I just feel like I'm surrounded by people that share the same background as me, share the same characteristics as me. So I don't know. I guess that's what makes it different. I feel like at a school like UF, FSU, there isn't a sense of belonging. Like you kind of feel everybody's a little bit different. It's more like diverse, but at FAMU, more like a family. So that's definitely what makes it.
You with your own people, so you just feel more comfortable.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, sir. what would you tell, like you kind of just touched on it, but what would you tell an athlete that's trying to decide if a HBCU is for them?
I would tell them basically what I just said. If you have the chance to go to HBCU, I would definitely recommend going to HBCU. If you're a player who's trying to, like, if you're, I guess, a high major guy and you're thinking about, well, I don't want to go to HBCU because I'm not going to get looked at and things like that, don't even think about that, because we still play, even though the conference we play the majority of HBCUs, we still got at least 15 to 20 games that we play, all high major teams. So if you a baller and you can hoop, you're going to get looked at. Scouts going to see you, like your name going to get out. So don't let the name or just being an HBCU steer you away from not wanting to go to the school, because at the end of the day, if you a hooper and you can hoop, like, scouts gonna see you. It's a dude that's in JUCO right now, like, just enter his name in the NBA draft. So if you can hoop, you can hoop.
I know you're talking about Jay Scrub.
Yeah.
Yeah, that man's
Yeah.
serious.
No cap.
You just touched on it, but what was going on that West Coast trip last year, like playing all the high major teams and like major programs that you guys play? And also, what was the experience like just being on the West Coast?
It was a real good experience. Well, first I can say being on the West Coast, that was my first time actually going to Cali. So that was a new experience for me. I'm not gonna lie, the West Coast and the East Coast are two completely different, like two completely different vibes. Like Florida and Cali, two completely different things. But from a like eating standpoint, I feel like playing those high major schools, it like helps, it prepares you as an individual, and it helps to prepare like the team. It prepares us for when we play our conference teams, like the teams the important games basically. So, but it was just a good experience. The like the facilities and things, it's real nice to see. And just the game environment is real different from when we play, because like we used to playing a crowd of probably maybe 3,000, maybe 2,000, something like that. But when you get in these big arenas, you playing teams 10,000, 15,000 fans. So it's just a whole different vibe. And that's nothing that I was really used to until we started playing these high major teams.
What was the biggest adjustment that you had to make on the court coming from high school to college?
Ooh, the game speed is actually a lot faster. The game is played a lot faster in college than it is in high school. Some of the level of competition is way higher. Like, I look back at it now, like high school, I think I only averaged like maybe 14, 15 points a game. But if I were playing at the level of intensity that I play now in college, if I did it in high school, I could have easily averaged 30. You know what I'm saying? But the level of competition is completely different. Like, the stuff you do in high school, you cannot get away with in college. Like dribbling, like my first practice, I could barely get the ball up half court without getting ripped. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's completely different experience. So
That's what a lot of my bad.
No, you good.
A lot of people don't realize that because they either aren't playing at the college level or they haven't got to that point yet. But
Yeah.
I just was talking to somebody the other day about it. Like, playing hard is like it's totally different when you get to college versus high school. Even if you play hard in high school, even if your coach was demanding of you, like, there's nothing, like, you just got to experience it to really see the difference. Like, when I first, like, I'm at the junior college level, so I like, it's kind of similar, but it's different. But like, I noticed for sure, like, just small stuff, like how much faster the lane closes up when you're trying to go to the basket, or how you got to put pace on your passes, like, or just simple stuff. You can't jump in the air and make passes, like, just small things that you could get away with, like you said, in high school, just not flying at the college level.
At all.
Your first year at FAMU, you were a preferred walk-on. What was your mindset like grinding? Like, what was your mindset like when you were trying to grind to become a scholarship player?
Like, I always knew I was a scholarship player. Coming out of high school, I had like D2 offers. I had a lot of JUCO offers, but my parents really didn't want me to go JUCO. I didn't argue with them. It's my parents. I was still under 18 at the time, so they made my decision for me. But I always knew I was a D1 player. I competed in high school. I competed with players that are playing at D1 level now. I think when like the little coaches rankings came out, I came out as like the second or third best player in the county. You know how they do little coaches thing or whatever. So I always knew I was a D1 player. So just coming in the FAM, I just kept that same mentality. Like, even though you're walking right now, you can still like bust some of these kids' ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? They put on their shoes the same way you put them on, and like they do everything the same way you do. So I shouldn't fear them or anything. So I was just coming here with the mentality like, I'm gonna work and I'm gonna get what I want.
I think coming into college, I think that's the mindset that anybody should have. Walk on, scholarship player, whatever the case. Like, you got to have that mindset to get on the floor, period, no matter what level you're at, no matter who you're playing against, no matter what. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Talk about, let's see. Talk about just having a different path than everybody else, like people having different paths, not everybody's path being the same, and just what you think about that.
I think my path is like real unique. Like, not a lot of people can say that they were like top ranked in their area or their city, was a walk-on, and then now it's like the starting, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't consider myself a star player, but a starting key asset to a major program. I think that it's very unique and very different.
How did it feel when you finally like found out that you were going to become a scholarship player, even though like you knew it from the start, you knew that you had what it took, but what was it like when you officially became a scholarship player?
I'm not gonna lie, I was really like, my coach, I don't know, I kind of had mixed feelings about it. Like, I was obviously excited, but I don't know. Like, my freshman year, I played, like, even though I was a walk-on, I still played like the majority of the game. So then my sophomore year, I still was a walk-on. So after that, I was just like, I don't know, he might just like leave me as a walk-on the rest of my like collegiate career. But even though that would be weird, but he actually put me on scholarship. I want to say like the third or fourth game of my junior year, and we were playing Washington State. And he told me right before we went on the court, he was like, Bryce, come here real quick. And he told me, and then like, I don't know, I was just like real happy, like real ecstatic. And just like, it gave me a little bit more motivation because I just knew that this is what I always like wanted, and I finally got it. So I was only halfway done my college career, so I was like, I can't just stop here. I got to go get more. So my goal now is, I'm trying to win a MEAC championship for my team, trying to at least be all-conference player this year. So I got goals I'm trying to reach. That was one minor goal that I reached, so I'm definitely trying to reach more goals this year.
Your path definitely is unique, I would say, for sure. Most people that are walk-ons don't get any minutes at all. Most walk-ons don't even get reps in practice for real, or they literally only do stuff in practice. So for you to be playing, for you to have played minutes your freshman year, and you started off the season playing your sophomore year when you received that news, I think that's big time for sure. That shows the kind of player you are, the kind of person you are for sure too, because being a walk-on is not, it's like you had it mentally to where you felt like you was already that caliber player. But a lot of people don't feel like that. They feel like since they're a walk-on, they just in the box and they can't make nothing happen. But for you to be playing and being productive, being a part of your team, like you said, that's major.
Yeah, I just had to I had to do more than what the average player was doing. So like, you hear people say it all the time, you got to be the first one in the gym and the last one to leave. Like, that was literally the mindset I went in. I was always the first one to practice, always the last one to leave the gym, always in the coach's office. Like, even if I wasn't involved in the film, I was always asking the coach, like, coach, let's watch film. Like, just doing the small things like that. So I think that's really what helped me to become the player I am today. Like, just doing the little things and always being hungry and greedy.
Describe your game to somebody that's never seen you play before.
Ooh. I want to describe it in one word, but I feel like it's gonna be hard to describe it in one word. So I'll just give like a few little characteristics. I'm an athlete. Like, I'm very athletic. I'm a work hard. I'm a hustler, and I consider myself like I'm like a mixture of, like, I don't want to say Dennis Rodman. Well, Dennis Rodman would be one, and like Draymond Green. Like, I'm a do the little things type of guy. Like, that's me. So that's actually one of the reasons why why my coach started messing with me a lot more, because a lot of guys weren't defending, they weren't rebounding. So whenever he put me in the game, I went in with the mentality like, okay, I'm gonna do the things that the guys that he sat on the bench aren't doing. So that was playing defense, rebounding the ball. So I'm a heavy defender. I like to consider myself one of the best defenders on my team, one of the best defenders in the conference. Very athletic. If you jump at me, it's going in your head. And I'm really like a mid-range dead-eye. Like mid-range, I just don't miss. That's just my go-to shot. One dribble pull up, catch and shoot pull up. That's just me.
Everybody that's watching, he didn't say nothing about scoring buckets first. He mentioned defense, rebounding. He said he played like Draymond Green, Dennis Rodman. Those not sexy names, but like sure, at the college level, like high school, you could kind of get away with just getting on the court, even if you're not like that. Like even if you're not that good of a player, to be quite frank. But in college, if you're not providing value to your team or doing something that can keep you on the court, you're not going to play. Playing defense, rebounding, playing hard, all that kind of stuff, taking charges, those things, like you said, those are the things that will for sure get you on the court. If you could play defense and rebound, like you'll always have a spot on the court. People always say if you could shoot, you have a spot on the court, but everybody not a shooter. Like everybody not going to put the time in to become a elite shooter, but defense, rebounding, most of that is just effort, like your mentality, just things that you could easily control. So that's something I would say. If you want to get on the court, play defense, rebound, do the little things, and then work on your offense. He mentioned being a mid-range deadeye and dunking on people last. That wasn't the first thing he said. So that show you right there what it takes.
Yeah, and your scoring your defense gonna help with your scoring. You play defense, you're gonna get breakout opportunities, chances to go dunk, chance to do it all. So definitely work on defense first.
How did your season go last year at FAMU?
Last year I feel like we had a pretty productive visual. I think I grew as a player. Last year is kind of when I really established myself as like one of the leaders on our team. I was I played a very big part in our offense and our defensive scheme. Whenever it was crunch time, I was always on the court. So I feel like I grew in that aspect because a year or two from now, I probably wouldn't have been in the game a couple of games when it was close game, overtime game. So I won my coach's trust basically. As a team, we definitely improved. I think we finished third in our conference out of 12 teams, third or fourth in our conference out of 12 teams. We got to the end and we had a chance to finish first, but the last two games that we really needed to win, we ended up losing those. But I'm more so excited for this year. Like we got a lot. We returned 5 guys, 5 of our starters actually. So this is actually going to be a pretty interesting year. So I'm really excited to see how this year plans out.
As a senior, how have you developed into a leader, like you said, and what does it take to be a good leader? Like, what do you think makes somebody a good leader?
Well, for me personally, I kind of wanted to be a leader as soon as I got here, but I knew I couldn't only because like my game, you kind of got to earn, in order to be a leader, your teammates got to be able to trust you. You got to earn the respect of your teammates. That's one thing my coach always preached. Like, if your teammates don't respect you, it's gonna be hard for them to trust you, and it's gonna be hard for you to lead. So that was one thing that I made sure I did. I made sure that my teammates respected me first. They could trust me on the court. They could respect my game, and then that's what enabled me to be able to lead. You got to know the game. You got to know what you're talking about. You can't lead and then like not know what you're talking about. So that's definitely big. You got to know what you're talking about, and you just can't be afraid to voice your opinion. Like a lot of people want to be leaders, but they always bite their tongue when it comes to certain situations. But being a leader, you got to be able to talk whether the situation is like, if you really don't even know a lot about the situation, you still got to be able to talk about the situation. So definitely being able to be vocal on and off the court, I think that's what makes a person a good leader.
Leading definitely is an uncomfortable job. Like if you're not comfortable with being uncomfortable, then you probably won't make a good leader, because it is times where sometimes you got to talk to your teammate or you got to tell them something that they don't want to hear or correct them or whatever the case. But as long as they know that it's coming from a good place, and like you said, if they could trust you, if you're telling them something that they've seen you do before or they see you do, then most of the time people won't have no issues falling in line. What are some of your goals heading into this season? What are your main goals for your senior year?
My first main goal, I'm trying to win my trying to win a MEAC championship, trying to make it to the NCAA tournament. Those were my first two main goals. I'm basically just trying to leave a legacy like I did at Hillsborough, trying to do the same thing at FAM, just leave a winning legacy at the school. Then come like the small accolades. Like I want to win Defensive Player of the Year in my conference. That's one of the goals I have. I want to be listed as a all-conference player. Scoring-wise, like averages, I could care less. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm doing what an all-conference guy should be doing and defending how I should be defending and doing the things that's going to help enable my team to win, I'm cool with that. So, but those are my main things, my biggest thing. I'm just trying to win, man. Trying to get me a ring before I leave. That's the goal.
What's your why? Like what motivates you to just keep going hard, to keep pushing, even when you don't want to sometimes?
I mean, I could say my family, but I feel like that's just like that's a basic generic answer. Honestly, I would say like not a lot of people have the opportunity that I have. So I feel like having this opportunity, I'm blessed to have this opportunity. So I want to make the most of it. So I feel like that's what keeps me pushing. Like I could be, like God could have not allowed me to be here, but since I'm here, I'm just gonna make the best of my opportunity. So that's why I go as hard as I can every day. Like being able to wake up and put shoes on and play the game I love, like that's just what really made me go. So, and then also, like I said, family. Like my granddad, he kind of instilled the game in me. So he called me pretty much every day, like ask about the game. So I know that make him happy. He like see me watch. He like watch me play on TV. So that's kind of my why too.
What would be one thing that you would tell somebody that's up and coming, trying to make it?
Just go get it, go hustle. Nothing in life is gonna be handed to you, nothing at all. And that's a quote you can take with you in any aspect of life, whether it's a job, basketball, school, like nothing or anything you want isn't gonna be handed to you. So if you want to be the best player in the nation, like you got to put in the work to do it. If you're a walk-on right now and you want to go end up being a scholarship player, you got to put in the work to do it. Like a coach is just gonna walk up and, hey, you know, I think you should be a scholarship player and give you a scholarship. That's not how it works. You got to work for everything you want. So I would definitely say put in the most work you can now early. That way the success will pay off in the long run.
I like that. My dad, people in general, like I always heard, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And most of it, like we're not chasing dreams that's easy. We're not trying to do stuff that's easy. And clearly everybody can't do it. So like you said, I think putting in the work is key for sure.
Definitely.
All right, now we're gonna do the speed round just real quick, just to wrap things up. What's the number one thing you like to do in your free time?
Play the game, Call of Duty.
Call of Duty? You got a new one?
Yeah. I played the alpha version.
It's straight?
Straight.
Who are your top 5 favorite rappers out right now?
Out right now, all time.
With you, I want the all time with you, because we got something to talk about.
I mean, I'm gonna just put J. Cole at the top. J. Cole, my favorite artist. So J. Cole, Lil Baby, Rod Wave. I ain't gonna lie, I started listening to Rod Wave a lot lately. Rod Wave, yeah, he hot right now. Thug for sure. That's 4. And I'll go ahead and put Gun on there.
All time?
I mean, that was more so like
that was more right now?
Yeah, that was more like right now. Only reason I said all time because J. Cole, he ain't really dropped nothing like recently, so that's why I said all time.
For sure. What I was about to say, I was waiting on the Young Thug. I remember, I don't know how long ago it was. We was talking about what's the best slime season. I think the best slime season 1. You said slime season 2. Still don't agree with that, but we're gonna agree to disagree. We both Thug fans. What do you see yourself doing after basketball?
I'm not gonna lie. Like most players have dreams of playing professionally. I had dreams of playing professionally, but my body just been aching lately. Like I really don't think I can play anymore. So like my main goal, I'm just trying to graduate, get my master's degree, just like start my career from there. Basically, I want to I'm trying to pursue a career in marketing. I feel like I'm good with marketing different things to different people. So definitely want to pursue marketing. But those are like my main goals. Like my next 2 or 3 years, I want to be graduate with my master's degree and in my career. But yeah, basketball is probably no go, no more. Can't do it.
What's your favorite place to eat in Tally?
Roboto's, hibachi.
Okay. Is FAMU the best HBCU in the country?
Definitely.
100%.
100%.
Who has been the biggest influence in your life this far?
My granddad. Definitely my granddad.
What do you want to improve the most on the court this year?
I want to improve my scoring. Even though I'm not like big on scoring, I want to improve my scoring. I want to be even more vocal on the court. I thought I was pretty vocal last year. But yeah, those are really the main 2 things. Being more versatile too, because like right now my game, like pretty much when I play, I mean, people know they're gonna get the defensive aspect out of me. When I get on the offensive aspect, like I'm gonna knock down an open shot. I'm gonna give you a 1 dribble, 2 dribble pull up. But now I'm trying to like, you know what I'm saying, take my game to the next level, like actually becoming a scoring threat, like a threat on both ends, threat, offensive threat. That's what I'm trying to do.
If you could meet 3 people dead or alive, who would they be and why?
J. Cole. Definitely, that's just my favorite artist. He got me through a lot of tough times. All his mixtapes, all his albums, like I play them and like they get me through tough times. So definitely would like to meet J. Cole. Definitely got to meet Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, Kobe. He just a killer. Like I just want to just talk to him just like about his mentality that he had, like going into different games, like the mentality he had, just about life. Definitely would like to meet Kobe. And then probably LeBron. Like he a killer. Like everybody want to meet LeBron, so I definitely probably want to meet LeBron.
LeBron and Kobe, the most popular answers on the show.
Yeah, definitely Bron and Kobe. Bron, Kobe, and Cole, for sure.
That's a strong 3, no cap. Well, Bryce, that's it for the show. I want to say thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for letting me have some of your time. I really appreciate it.
And I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you for having me on the show.
Tell everybody where they can find you, social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Make sure you tell them your TikTok, man.
Y'all go follow me on Instagram at _ Bryce23. I don't really be on Twitter that much, but for some of y'all used to know me back in the day, y'all know about Scoop Team. Go follow me at Scoop Team Bryce. Follow my TikTok, me and my girl TikTok at Bryce and Kaya. And we got a YouTube page too, Bryce and Kaya. Y'all go follow that for me. Appreciate you.
Make sure y'all go tune in to the YouTube channel, TikTok, follow Bryce on Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Again, bro, thank you for being a part of this. And that's it for the show.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.